sports listeners. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m. This is a whole hour of Santa Barbara teen athletes. Put your hands together, and all those people and businesses that support those athletes. I tell you, I am so excited. Well, first person I'm looking at is Big Eyes. Finally, after a 2-month sickness, Terri Dr. Energy Cooper is in the house. Put your hands together. Woo!
Now, last time I was here, I was in forced silence.
That's right.
And I fully intend to make up for that quiet time.
That's it. Well, it's really nice because I like inviting you over for dinner when you were really sick. That was really cool. You were quite the guest. Thank you.
Because I didn't say
Not
anything.
a word, baby.
Not a word. It was wonderful.
More salt? What? I can't hear you. It was awesome.
It was punishing watching Erica love that.
I enjoyed every minute of it. It was great. I know payback is bad. What else is going on? Tell me. Well, now that you're back and I want you to know this show is almost kind of sort of dedicated because you're well now. And I'm thinking we need to have kind of like a wellness show. I'm really excited. So pretty much that's the theme. And you're here, and maybe that you'll learn a couple of things so you won't be so sick for so long next time. How's that?
That sounds wonderful.
All right. So what are you up to? You got a lot of stuff going on.
Well, actually, I'll be teaching at the Center for Lifelong Learning.
A wellness class?
Coming up. No, not actually psychology classes, but they're interesting.
Awesome. Awesome.
So if our guests would like to make a little note of that,
nice.
April 16th, I'll be teaching Exploring the Wisdom Spectrum.
Nice.
From unconsciousness to superconsciousness and all the wisdom in between. On April 30th, I'll be teaching Staying Sane in a Crazy World, and it gets crazier every minute.
Nice. I want you to know that's entirely impossible, isn't it?
Oh, no. No.
Nice.
Well, if you go insane along with everyone else, you won't notice, but otherwise you need my techniques.
Yeah, there you go. There's the solution.
And then
nice.
June 2nd, I'll be teaching a class in self-hypnosis, how to hypnotize yourself. So those are the 3 that are coming up, and thank you for giving me the time to share that.
Oh, so if you wanted to do that, you wanted to sign up. What do the classes run usually?
The classes run anywhere between $8 and $10 an hour, so they're really reasonable.
Nice.
My classes are all 3-hour classes, so they're $25.
Nice. All right.
Yeah, and that comes with handouts.
Oh,
Right. That's such a deal.
Such a steal. I love a good deal.
Me too. I get continuing education units for that.
Nice.
For good deals.
For giving.
It's part of my tradition.
Nice. Terri Cooper. Woo!
Thank you.
To your left. On the same note, we've got Brian Faulk in the house,
Yes,
my
hello.
resident acupuncturist. How you doing?
Wonderful, thank you. Good morning.
Graduate from Pacifica.
Yes.
Heading down, getting to your PhD.
I'm working on it, doing
Brought
some
your
writing.
rocks,
Yes,
got
all
the
that.
herbs, got the smells.
You know how it goes.
And so what's your PhD going to be in?
In depth psychology.
Nice.
Yes.
I'm excited.
Yes, me
I could
too.
have sworn you said it was nuclear physics.
What?
Your PhD.
That's what I said.
That's what you said.
Oh, physics. Everything's physics. You drop something, it comes up, it goes down. That's.
Well, I'm glad you're here
Yes.
today because this whole hour really is about wellness. So if you want to
is.
kickstart us, because I know you do the acupuncture, so why don't you tell us a little bit why acupuncture should be folded into your 2016?
Yeah, well, first of all, we're lucky to be in Santa Barbara where we have access to so many wonderful different types of practitioners and so many different ways of keeping yourself healthy and places to turn to if you're not feeling well. And certainly Chinese medicine is one of those areas. And there's several amazing practitioners in Santa Barbara. I'm in Carpinteria. But Chinese medicine has a long tradition. It uses nature as its main source of healing, and including acupuncture. And that it triggers the body's own healing response system. So along with herbs, food, massage, acupuncture, it's a great medicine for all ages. I see everyone from pediatrics to seniors. Miss Betty just turned 100 last week, and so it's wonderful to be part of the community and offer this type of medicine.
Nice. Yeah. Very. Now, animals. We talked about it once before.
Yeah. Animals, technically, the only people that can do acupuncture on animals are vets who have also got their acupuncture license.
Oh,
so
wow.
technically, those are the only folks that are legal to do that. However, animals respond really well to massage. So if you have your kitty out there or your dog, they love massage, and that's free. You can do that on anybody. And yes, I have done acupuncture on animals, and they respond really well to it. So, just under the legal.
Right. Nobody listens to the show. Continue.
No.
Sorry.
But it is something that
Nice.
cuts through the placebo.
Can't wait to get the emails after the show.
The idea that acupuncture only works because you believe in it. Animals respond incredibly well to it, and we could say that they're not necessarily influenced by the placebo effect.
Nice.
So animals are great, and I think they deserve care too. And massage and acupuncture is one very safe way of helping. I had a dog a couple months ago who had seizures and responded really well to the acupuncture and reduced the seizures. So it's effective.
Sure.
Yeah.
Terri Cooper, Dr. Edith, would like to ask you a question.
Kind of getting a lot of press here today. I should shut up more often. I wonder, how do you keep an animal quiet when you're needling them?
That's a very good question. So the question is, how do you keep an animal quiet when you're needling them? Well, the most important, as you'd expect, is the owner, whoever brings the animal in. I treat them first because oftentimes the animal is responding to the owner. And so in the case of the animal that I had, the dog with seizures, I treated her owner first because she was very stressed out. Once she was on the table and was relaxed with acupuncture needles, the dog seemed to calm down, and that allowed me to pet it, to have a connection with it, and then do a few points in its head area. So it depends on the animal, of course, but also being in an environment that the animal feels comfortable. I know acupuncturists who go to treat horses, and they go directly to the stable where the horses are, and after a period of time, the horses remember, and they start laying down as soon as the acupuncturist walks in the door. So
I lay down as soon as I see you.
I know.
Like,
Done.
It's instant response.
It's just like if you were to treat a baby, you work with the parents, the mother, whoever is holding the child, and you have the mom hold the baby in the same way as the animal. You could have if it's a small dog or cat, you can have them on the lap of the owner, and just, that's the best way to get the animal relaxed is to
give us your phone number.
Yes, 805-223-0915.
Say it one more time, because I'm getting responses people are not getting enough chances to say the contact
Sure.
information. So say it nice and slow.
Yes, I'm in Carpinteria, and my phone number is 805-223-0915.
Nice, and you're on the
Erica.
About Us page on our new website, which is just kicking
Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio. Absolutely.
Thank you, Robert Burrows.
Yes, Robert, great job.
You did a great job.
Wonderful job. Thank you, Robert.
We've got more. We have my buddy, Angela Miller Beven. How you doing? Put your hands together. Fairview Gardens. Wow. Look at this. I got this big, a small patch of greenery. She's passing it over here because she just likes it when I fail. Okay, first I'm going to do is I'm going to smell it.
Can I say hello first?
Yes, say
hi.
Oh, I know what that is. Okay, well, you're gonna get a
You
chance.
get all this press, and then I just get shut down because I brought her green stuff.
I know. For 2 weeks. Oh man, talk to me.
So
I'm passing it around.
I bring something for Erica to take a look at, and it's been hard because I'm starting to run out of things that you don't know what they are. But we have a new product at Fairview Gardens right now that's really awesome and is starting to become something that a lot of restaurants are using, and they're also full of nutrients, right?
That's absolutely right. And yummy.
Yes. And they're very yummy. So what we need you to do is smell it and then taste
one more
it.
time to smelling.
It's a very small green leafy plant.
Okay. Luckily for us, we have a master gardener in the making. I'm going to pass this over to Dominique Hackett. Dominique, you're going to grab the
she
the
can
mic.
identify that in about 2 seconds and tell us all about it.
Well, I get to reach out. I get to phone a friend.
Is that phone a friend or call someone?
Dominique Hackett here.
Hello, Erica. Good morning.
Yes.
Oh, this tastes spicy.
Yeah.
Kind of like arugula.
Oh,
That's my first guess.
The difference between it is it's an arugula microgreen.
Nice.
So when you buy it in a little flat, and it comes live at Fairview Gardens, and you can just cut it off and put it on your salads or on any kind of food. It is full of nutrients, and you can go online and just Google microgreens, and it will give you the list of everything that it does for you.
Yeah, what people don't realize is when some of our vegetables first shoot out, there is a huge quantity of nutrition that's just been sitting in that seed, and it's just bursting with life. So it's wonderful to use these teeny tiny little micronutrients in your food.
Absolutely. And for those out there who have never grown plants or food, this is one of the easier ones to grow. I put a couple seeds in a pot about a month ago, and I got 4 inches of arugula going crazy in the little planter box outside my porch. So it doesn't take a whole lot to grow these things, kind of like cilantro or parsley. You put the seeds in the ground, and Angela at Fairview Gardens already has a nice flat for you ready to go. So you can stick them in a pot or in the ground, and you pluck your food right away and put it into your cooking immediately. So it's food fresh directly from your garden into your house. So
how can we help Fairview Gardens? Because you guys are one of my favorite nonprofits. So what do we got going on?
We have a lot going on at Fairview Gardens all the time. Our education program is our largest program. We work with families with children from infant all the way up to our teen program. And I brought a guest today she's been in one of our teen apprentice internship programs, and she's been out at the farm working, and she's going to tell you a little bit about that program. We also have a farm stand that is it's starting to become a fully stocked farmers market. So you can go you're going to be able to go there and buy almost everything you buy at the farmers market. And so you'll get microgreens there. You can get honey there. And we're located at 598 Fairview Avenue in Goleta. So please come out and stop by our farm stand.
Beautiful. Woo! Yeah! All right, Dominique Hackett, real quick, back to you, because I want you to talk to us about the Master Gardener program and what you're working on, and it's mind-blowing to me, and I talk about it.
Well, I can't recommend it highly enough. If you have the time, it does take a commitment of 4 hours a week, and it's from basically January through June, and you do get tested, but you become an agent of the UC system to be able to give free advice to everyone about gardening, whether it's vegetable gardening or landscape gardening or caring for oak trees, you name it. We have access to the UC system's database of research on plants. And it's just a phenomenal program. The amount of training and just the love of the people presenting the information is so inspiring. And we have to do a little mini presentation in order to graduate. So we have to do a 15-minute spiel, and we're going to do it on biodynamic gardening, which is a step beyond organic.
What is that?
Biodynamic. Do you know anything about?
I've heard of it.
Yeah. So we have a couple of wineries locally that are using biodynamic, but it's even more than organic. It's working in harmony with the rhythms of the moon, the seasons, and also the constellations. So it's very interesting. We're researching the research on it right now, and I'll be able to share with you the anecdotal evidence and the research soon.
So is it based on magnetism, basically?
You know, I suspect it has to do with magnetism and also light.
Okay.
Well, for somebody who checks her astrological table every day before she gets dressed, or what's going to happen, or should she close a deal, or whatever, I think that's just perfect for you. It's wonderful. All right, we've got our resident teen, Laura. How you doing, Laura? Woo!
Doing very good.
Guess what? I gave you 30 seconds because I love you.
It's okay. I mean, I don't really want to move too much because I have a needle stuck in my ear.
Okay.
But, yeah, today
it's a filament.
It's a needle.
No, it's a filament. It's a filament. It's okay.
It's pointy. It's long.
Yeah.
In my world, it's a needle. Okay. So
you did some reading before we go to break.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So I did some reading, and I read 2 books. One is Beyond Cancer Treatment, and the other one is a really interesting book about nutrition that is written in a way and illustrated in a way that is really easy to understand.
So you know what I did for you? Because we got to go to break.
Okay.
Guess what? The author is in the quiet room. Oh, yes, baby! Oh, yeah! We're bringing them! And I had you read Ghost Girl in car number 9, and guess what? She's in the quiet room, too!
I know.
Yeah! This is Author Day and Wellness Day, and I got it. Dr. D, we got to take a break. We're going to close out with a little happy song, because Erica's really happy. Can we do the happy song? Yes! He says yes, we could do the happy song. All right, let's do the happy song. This is Erica Saul. We're going to take a quick break. Be back for more after these messages.
Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along.
We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m. Woo! In walks in Saul Alcaraz, put your hands together. I love it when he just pops in. I love people that pop in.
Floats
I love
in
it.
on a bubble of glass.
I love your new commercial. I love it when you pop in. I love you. And what I gotta
love
say
you guys
is,
too, and I miss you.
I know, and
I miss you too, Saul.
We do teen sports radio, and we say, and the people in the businesses that support the teen athletes, honestly, you are far above every other business in how you support this show and how you support all of our linked nonprofits. So put your hands together. Saul Alcaraz. I can't even tell you, I don't even total up, because when you gift such a beautiful item to auction off to our, nonprofits, I don't ever even calculate, I don't say, how much does that go for? How much does that go? I don't even calculate that into the over $500,000 that we have done in, since this show started to participate in giving in this way, by partnering. And it wouldn't happen without businesses like you. So this is heartfelt. And I got to just say I love you, and I thank you so much, and only, wish you the best. Serious.
Thank you. Well, that's what life is about, and I'm giving back to the community that has given so much, to me, and I am who I am today because of my community. So
now I know you're working 7 days a week because I couldn't find parking on a couple of Sundays. So tell me what you really try to find parking.
I just parked in the Marburg parking lot.
There you go.
They never
Sundays
noticed.
and Saturdays are fine.
Yeah.
You can park anywhere.
Oh, that's awesome.
But,
so tell us what you're working on.
Well, right now I'm actually here because I really want to invite the community to. I'm having an exhibition this coming month. April 28th from 6 to 9, and I'm actually creating really amazing artwork, and I'm donating everything to Casa de la Raza.
Because, more donations! You're killing me with the donations.
I was telling him, when I was young and I had nowhere to go, I used to spend days there, and they used to give me, just give me food and everything there. So I used to spend my days there. So now that I can do this for them, it's really amazing, so I'm giving, they're having a little bit of trouble, and financial. So I'm just, giving whatever I can so they can, so I can help.
Reader's Digest story, because I know the story and you've been on so many times, but just for the first time listener listening to this, tell us how your life started.
Well, it's a long story.
I know,
keep saying I can make it in 5. Remember, I keep saying I came to this country when I was 13 years old.
Right.
I had no family. I had no one here, and I turned my life around. And I think I've done all right. And I have raised 2 incredible citizens. I have two boys, a 20-year-old and a 24-year-old, and they're doing really great in school. And so that makes me so happy. I made a promise that they will never go through what I went through.
Nice.
And, when it comes to kids and to my community, that's what I'm doing right now. That's why I'm here for.
For the folks out there, the one thing that I really encourage you to do, if you're a teacher listening to the show or a teacher, what Saul does is he does the glass blowing lessons for kids. Mm-hmm. He doesn't charge. He doesn't buy the class. And you've been doing it for St. Raphael's for as long as I've known you, 6-7 years for the 8th grade for Joni Galvin. And honestly, at the end of the year when they do the survey and they judge all of the activities that they did in that year, you have never not come in number 1. Wow. Your activity has come in number 1 every single year.
That's awesome. Good to know.
And thank you so much for that.
The special thing you give to our community is you're living your passion. You're earning your living every day by doing that beautiful art that you just absolutely love. And that is inspiring everyone around you to follow their passion and do the same thing.
That is so true. And I am so blessed. I mean, if I was to go today, I've already had the best life that anybody can ask for.
So make sure he signs everything, folks. I'm just saying. Not that I'm a collector.
Everything's signed.
Okay?
Everything's signed.
Everything must be signed. I'm just saying.
But, April 28th, 6 to 9, if you want to come and enjoy, we'll have live music, food and drinks, and
nice.
It's going to be wonderful. Yeah. It's going to be really awesome.
Thank you.
And then you can enjoy all the artwork, too.
Thank you. We'll be there.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you so much for showing up. We got a couple of minutes left. I want to move on over here. We've got, and this is a nice little treat. We have in the house ClamityJan, and Dr. D and her just knocked it out of the park. A little Audible book. How you doing, Calamity?
Oh my gosh, I'm overwhelmed. I love this group, and you just inspire me. And we're talking about kids here, and I guess I'm not a kid anymore, but there is one running around inside, and maybe for all of us. I love to write books for young readers, but I've had a really exciting event occur, and that is that my first audio book has been released with the producer, a man by the name of Richard Dugan.
Dr. D's in the house!
And it's so exciting to think now that children and young people can zoom in via iTunes, Amazon, Audible.com, and children sometimes who are sight impaired in schools for the blind. It's an exciting gift that I can give from my soul, my stories. I am a storyteller. It's never going to end. My children have to put up with me, and they will as long as I'm a grandma in my rocking chair, which I haven't been in a rocking chair yet.
I don't know what it is, but I just need you to know, okay? You put me to sleep every night, okay?
So wonderful.
I am serious. I listened to the book, and I don't think I got past, 2-3 chapters, and I'm just out. That's it. It's your voice. It just knocks me out. I love it. And I tell you, out of all the projects, and Dr. D's done practice for 35 years, he says it's in the top 5 that he's ever had. It was a great experience for both of you. Dr. D!
Yeah.
Well,
and actually, believe it or not, it was Audible Books is where I got my start, but not as a producer, as a listener. When I was a kid growing up, I listened to talking books for the blind and recordings for the blind, all kinds of stories. That's how I read the classics and what have you. And I was privileged to get involved with a radio reading service back in Phoenix, and then began the process of producing radio theater, and just one thing after another. And of course, here we are today. And I got to tell you, sitting and listening, I put the CDs, I produced up some CDs. Of course, they're available on Amazon when you purchase the book, the hard copy, or Kindle, the digital. But every time I would put the CD in and we would start it, tears would come to my eyes, just because of what I'm listening to. And it's just so much fun to, as I've shared a couple of times in the past, former other projects that I've done, I've gone, I can hardly wait for this to be over. This is just huge. But when we started with yours, I said the same words, but it was because I could hardly wait to hear how it was going to sound. It's like, I don't want to rush it, but I want to get this finished because, and I love the way it turned out.
It was amazing. And as an author, and I have listened to audiobooks, at first I was put back by my voice, and then I realized, well, you know what? I am a grandma. I put some to sleep, but others are going to be...
that's a good thing. I'm a jacked up person.
But you find the book. You can find it by going up to Audible and entering the word Ghost Girl. So the title of this audiobook is Ghost Girl in Car Number 9. It's number 5 in the Ghost Town series for young readers, and it is an amazing adventure based on history and about an orphan who is alone in the world and heading for an authentic place in Nevada called the Nevada Children's Asylum. And she was terrified. And so I'm not going to tell you any more, except that I would just love to meet you on audible.com. And I just want to say Richard has been a joy to work with. And I have to be just so honest here. His sound effects of the train, you cannot believe the music, the train, the sound effects that he has accomplished is truly that of an artist. And
I never heard the train. I'm asleep by then.
In your case,
the train probably would wake me up.
In your case,
keep listening.
In your case, the train has already left the station. Is that what you're saying?
A while ago.
Jump on board.
Seriously.
Well, let me tell you, the searching.
Erica is in the sleeper car.
There you go. There you go.
Good one.
I actually had to make sure that I got the right kind of train. I had to look up. Plus the fact that I don't know if you can hear it or not. I may or may not have used it, but I actually had to research whether or not they had those kinds of railroad crossing signals in 1863.
Yep.
And they did.
Yeah.
But I had to make sure I got steam engine.
That's amazing.
Couldn't go down to Amtrak and record it as it goes
no,
by.
You couldn't. You've done such an authentic,
thank you.
amazing job.
Historian
It was
work.
great fun.
That's it.
It was great
it's
fun.
meticulous.
Yes.
That's awesome.
It is.
Hey, let's take another break. We love you.
Ah.
Erica Salda, we're going to take a little break. It's go time. We'll be back with more after these messages. We are back, and this is a Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show, and I'm your host, Erica Salda. Please tune in
Every single Tuesday.
Laura, where else can you find us?
You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and teensportsradio.com.
She's all grinning ear to ear because I threw out 2 books. You know, she's on a break, and I'm like, read these books because I have to be the good house mom. So I threw these books, and I says, I want to give you a report and a little questionnaire. Of course, I didn't follow through on that. And now she brought the books in, and guess what? Guess who you're looking at? You're looking at the author.
Yes,
Dr.
I am.
Dale is in the house. Woo! I am so excited. Dale Figtree is so. You ever read a book and then you call the author? You don't expect them to pick up the phone, and she picks up the phone. She's in Berkeley, and she'd love to come down to the show. And then I don't know. She decided to throw herself off a curb or whatever, and broke some part of her body, so that she had to rush back down to Santa Barbara. And then in the interim of her getting herself all fixed up, I'm like, have you guys ever heard? Because I'm not like the foremost nutritionist on the show, if anybody knows that. But the first person I asked is Dr. Energy Terri Cooper, who doesn't have a mic. She's, oh my God. She's Dr. Dale. She's the most, what'd you say?
Oh, I don't know. I said that she is the foremost nutritionist, or had been when she lived in Santa Barbara, that anybody that wanted to get well and learn about nutrition and work with nutrition went to Dr. Dale.
Now, do you know her in any shape or form capacity? Has she given you any money? I want to know what's going on here. What is transpiring?
No, I have known about her for a long time, and anybody who's interested in nutrition knows about Dr. Dale.
Nice, but you don't know each other. You're not friends.
We are now.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, so because you were a pioneer, Dr. Dale. So tell us how you got started in nutrition.
Well, when I was 27, I was diagnosed with lymphatic cancer. I was living in New York, and I went through the usual treatment. And after 6 months, I was told that there was nothing that they could do for me. I still had the tumor, and it was like, write your will, And
you were 20, how much?
27.
27,
yeah.
God.
And, within me was this powerful force to live, and I thought, well, the ball's back in my court, and I'm going to start doing research. And I began to do research, and I stumbled upon a nutritionist who had a fantastic reputation for healing lots of diseases, including cancer. And I got in touch with him. We started working together, and I started to learn a whole new education about how to support the body's self-healing through very, very high levels of nutrients. And so I followed his program perfectly and went through what he described as episodes of cleaning out and rebuilding and cleaning out and rebuilding. And after 3 years, I got a CAT scan, and they declared me cancer-free.
Wow.
And I'll tell you something, he had been arrested 4 times because at that point it was illegal to treat cancer any other way than surgery, chemotherapy, or radiation. And so he didn't write books, and he didn't train people, and he was an old man, and soon he was gone. And so people started to call me because they heard about me from other friends, and I couldn't pass them on to him, so I started to tell them my experiences, and after a while I realized I would probably get arrested because I had no background in medicine, but there was such a need for this powerful information to get out there.
Nice.
Dale, very nice to meet you. I'd heard about you as a young student at the Santa Barbara College of Oriental Medicine. A lot of my professors referenced you and spoke very highly of you, so it's a pleasure to have you in the studio here. And certainly Chinese medicine has its own long history of dietetics, but I'm curious as to your modern use of the food that we have available to us now, and how things might have changed over the last 15 or 20 years, and where we sit today, and as far as nutrition goes.
Yeah. Well, first of all, being in Santa Barbara is the easiest place to be healthy because there's so much food grown locally that's organic. But I'll tell you, when I was on this program, I lived in New York City, and I bought food from supermarkets, not organic, and my body was able to heal. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you, I believe the bottom line is that if you make good choices, you buy the healthiest food that's available, the body can still support healing and go through its healing changes.
Yes. Yes, and certainly the GMO situation that we're in now, notwithstanding, and the access or lack of access to food from around the world is certainly playing an issue. But I think your point is well taken, and you get access to whatever you can do and trust the body's ability to.
Yeah, and it's really scary with the GMOs and the pesticides and just so many things. But there's this other part of me that feels that if certain nutrients are really super high, they're very protective.
Yes.
And the people that really consume those things can possibly bypass the ravages of the problems with GMO and other things.
So when I read in the book what you went through when you changed your diet, I was really surprised because it almost looks like you were getting worse instead of better, because you were losing all that weight and you were feeling really weak. So I was wondering, did you ever feel like it was going like the wrong way? Because I mean, right now we're really into natural medicine, but I know like 20 or 30 years ago it was like all doctors and like...
Right. Many times I felt like it could be going the wrong way and I could be dying, but I didn't really have a choice. I mean, I knew if I went to modern medicine at that point, there was nothing they could do. And my own nutritional doctor was so adamant, explaining again and again, these are detoxifications, your body is clearing out things that were poisonous or toxic. And at one point, I literally had the same exact reactions 3 years after I had chemotherapy as I had with chemotherapy. And to me, it was just an absolute clear indication that my body was able to get rid of old stuff.
Okay. And then the other question is, I saw that you were not eating wheat and dairy, but you were eating meat, which is what we are basically looking at as if it was the demon in our nutrition.
No, I was not eating meat.
Oh, you were not either. Okay, because I saw wheat and dairy.
Yeah, occasionally I had some eggs, organic eggs, and occasionally some organic raw goat cheese, but no meat, and definitely wheat was not a part of the program, nor dairy.
Okay,
other than a little bit of goat cheese, yeah. And I mean, I could go on explaining why. I don't really need to. I think it's all over the internet. You could read that, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Part of the story in one of your books, you mentioned a dream that you had about a stone, I think it was. Can you share a little bit about during your healing process?
You know when you had the dream where there was, I think, a Hindu man that was trying to get a stone out of your chest?
Well, the thing is that the dreams are a whole other world, but I've been fortunate enough to have dreams that seem to give me information that point the way, but sometimes you don't appreciate them when they're happening. And 2 years before I had cancer, I had a dream of somebody who was considered a Hindu saint, and his name is Sai Baba. And he came to me and he wanted to take something out of my chest. And I didn't trust him. I said, wait, where's your anesthetic? Where's your antiseptic? No, don't touch me. And 2 years later, I had cancer in that spot. So, you know, my feeling is that some part of me perhaps represented him. And, you know, our body's intelligence knows about what's going on in our body way before things appear and way before our consciousness, waking consciousness knows.
Oh, and then I have another question. It's, you mentioned it in your book, unless there was the threat of death, you would basically sort of relax and not really see the cancer as something so threatening to you anymore. And then a certain shift happened where you kept on like fighting it even when it was like not that intense. So what happened?
Well, you know, when you're seriously sick, people around you are just trying to make it easy for you, calm things down, not really trying to activate, you know, you've got to be more serious, you've got to, you know, whatever. And so there was a tendency to always kind of relax and not think about it, go to the movies, distract myself. But when I finally got the diagnosis that there's nothing they could do, I understood at that time that for the period of time that involved healing, I needed every ounce of energy, every ounce of focus to survive, and there was still no guarantee that would happen. And so I made a commitment to just pay attention to everything. And for a period of time, I knew I needed to remain focused on every level with everything I did. And when I got the diagnosis that everything was clear, then I was able to relax and go back into life as I knew it.
Wow. That's really intense.
Yeah, it was intense, but that kind of energy and focus sometimes is needed to really, do something extraordinary.
And then moving to the other book, the Eat Smart, Feel Great. So I read this book and I was really interested in it because it looks at nutrition in a way that's really, really simple. Because when sometimes I remember when I was at school in Italy, where a nutritionist came to school and she explained this stuff, and it was like all so complicated. I was like, wait a second, isn't it way simpler than that? And with this book, you really explain it in a really simple way, and it also says that it could be for kids and teens. And did you get the idea for this book from your experience? What drove you?
Well, actually, the story is really based on my my relationship with my stepson, who came into my life when he was 9, and he was a sugar addict, and he was beginning to gain weight, and anything I mentioned to him about food would just be, kind of pushed back to me. So I just let it go. And when he was 14, he was embarrassed to take his shirt off to go swimming. I mean, he was really struggling with this, and he finally came and asked me if I'd help him. And I just sat down and made a list of all the foods he loved, and I turned them into healthier foods. And then it struck me that kids love to understand how things work. If they can be presented in a way that's simple and even more so funny, having humor to it. And so the idea of writing this book about the story with my stepson, for kids to be able to educate themselves in a way that didn't feel like education, that felt like really something cool and awesome and easy to read, came to mind. And I just, because I was an artist also, I illustrated it, wrote the story, and it was just published right away.
Nice.
Thank you.
Dr. Dale. Woo! Listen, I could do a whole show just on you, and we're going to do that because I'm going to get to you right after break and schedule you again. You're too good for words.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much. We're going to take a quick little break. This is Erica Salda. We'll be back with a lot more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am their host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday.
We've got a lot of show left, and we've got Dr. Energy to introduce our next guest.
Oh, I am?
Yep.
Okay, hi. I brought my dear friend and colleague, Lesley Weinstock.
Woo! Put your hands together.
Lesley is a retired physician's assistant. You're not.
Retired. I'm not retired.
She's not. She's a non-retiring physician. She's a licensed physician's assistant. I'm sorry, I didn't know I'd be doing the introduction. Okay. And I mean, I know her as my girlfriend, so not that, Okay.
It's all good.
Lesley has recently gone back to a wonderful way of analyzing people's health called live blood cell analysis. And so I want to welcome Lesley to the show and ask her if she would explain to us what is live blood cell analysis.
Live blood cell analysis consists of taking one drop of blood from the finger and quickly putting it under the microscope attached to a video. So the practitioner and the client can actually see their blood live and active on a video screen. And it's really inspiring and interesting and educational.
It's also terrifying if you have clumping red blood cells, which I do.
Well, that might mean incomplete protein digestion or dehydration. There's lots of things you can see on a live blood cell analysis, like fungal infection, nutritional deficiencies, B12, folic acid deficiency, dehydration, liver or bowel toxicity, free radical damage. You can see allergic tendencies, and we're looking at under 100x magnification, and we're seeing the white blood cells in action. You can see them actively going after bacteria or fungal forms, and it's really fun and motivating. For example, I could tell you to avoid eating sugar. I could suggest, avoid eating gluten. But when you're seeing a big TV monitor in front of you, it's more motivating, to actually put this into practice.
For somebody who grew up just taking x-rays as a way of seeing into the body, to now recognize there's a way that you literally can see the body on a microscopic, would that be the right? Microscopic level, and actually see what the body is doing at the cellular level. That is fascinating.
Yes.
And I just can't recommend it enough, because not only is it interesting to see and highly informative, but when you make the changes that are suggested and get retested, you get to really see
you can
the difference.
See the improvement. Also, I want to say that this is not a substitute for regular lab tests that your doctor or practitioner would send to a laboratory. This is a support, a complementary support, and it's really based on health education. It's based on the fact that knowledge is power. So the more we know, the better we can take care of ourselves. It's about self-care and self-empowerment.
You know what's so fun is there's the old saying, as above, so below. And looking at your blood moving around, you now really understand in a three-dimensional way why nutrients are so important to your body.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah, we got to go to a break, and we'll get back to you. What's your phone number so we can reach out to you? Because I enjoyed it. Dominique and I had a field trip at your house. We spent 3 hours. It was so cool. I placed it on Facebook. I highly recommend it for anybody because you really do get in a relationship like on a cellular level. How can we get a hold of you?
Thank you, Erica. My number is 805-212-0052. That's 805-212-0052.
It is worth every penny. I highly recommend it. You can check it out on my Facebook page, Teen Sports Radio. We got to take another break. This is Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. We'll be back with more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday.
Angela Miller-Beven, where else can you find us?
You can find us on teensportradio.com.
Nice.
Twitter.
Yes.
Facebook.
Yes.
And Instagram.
All right, I tried to get you. You got me. Who did you bring? Fairview Gardens. What's going on?
I brought one of our teens that comes to the farm and has been with us with our teen apprentice program and has been out to volunteer at the farm. But she's also doing her senior project she goes to middle college, and she is doing her senior project with her friend Ashley, and they are doing a soil study, which they are going to be demonstrating at Earth Day, which is just a few days away from today. It's this Saturday and Sunday, which is April 16th and 17th, and you can come down and see us, and we're going to be Fairview Gardens, but we will have our middle college, I always say that middle college students doing their soil demonstration. So I'm going to let her tell you a little bit about what they're going to be doing.
Nice to meet you. Put your hands together. Woo!
Thank you. Hi, so my name is Madeline Pixley. Yeah, so I've been volunteering at Fairview Gardens and, working with everybody there, pulling weeds and planting seeds and making everything look really nice, and it's been fun being involved with them. So I thought, for our senior project, my friend Ashley and I could kind of work with Fairview Gardens, and we figured out that we're going to have a booth at Earth Day, and we're going to be showing kids kind of the different parts of soil, different layers, and how things grow in soil, and about the water cycle, and just we want to make kids more involved with our community and with Fairview Gardens and with wanting to eat healthier foods and understanding how, they can help out with the environment. So, yeah, it's really exciting.
I wanted to ask you a question, if I could.
Sure.
A lot of folks don't have a lot of garden area. Mm-hmm. They don't have the knowledge of how to plant on a large scale. Is something at your place, Fairview Gardens, do you teach people how to work in small environments so that maybe if they live in an apartment or duplex and don't have a lot of space, they can still grow healthy food for themselves? Or nutrients?
We are currently we're starting a program where we're doing plots, and that's starting out with homes where these families can come and grow their own food on the farm. That's a program that we're working on getting going. Right now, we're just doing it with Backyard Bounty and also with our homeschooling students that come out. They have their own little plot where they grow things. So that's something that we're working towards doing. We hope that we will be able to get to that place, but right now we're working towards plotting.
Mm-hmm. I have to tell you, I kind of have a funny because I don't have a big space to garden, and I found that my shopping bag makes a great gardening container. So I literally have a couple of shopping bags hanging on a fence growing some tomatoes right now.
That's awesome because we actually are going to start growing. We have a little art studio on the property, and we're using old backpacks, and we're going to grow things in the backpacks and hang them off of the wall.
That's awesome.
There's all these different ways.
Right.
All I grow are things in the refrigerator that shouldn't be grown.
There's your microgreens you can grow. Maddie wanted to share though with us. There is something that she can let you guys know about that's coming up.
Yeah, so in April, we're going to be starting our new round of teen volunteering for community service hours. So that's what I did this past couple months to get community service hours.
And you can go online to find out more about that, but it'll be
they're
on
Tuesdays from 3:30 to 5. So if you just want to go on fairviewgardens.org too for more information to see what everybody's doing there.
Great. Guess what? We're almost out of time. I want you guys to come back always. We love you. Got a minute. I want to thank Lesley Weinstock. Put your hands together. Dr. Dale. Maddie, you were awesome. Of course, ClamityJan. Dr. D, thank you again for helping around on that Audible. We had Brian Faulk in the house. Brian, we love you. Dr. Energy, Dominique Hackett, and our resident teen co-host. She must be, she's waving in the back right there. Laura Arcodia. Say goodbye to your mom. We got 5 seconds. Say it in whatever language. Pick a language.
Well, it's my mom.
Okay.
So, tschüss Mama, ich hoffe, dass du dieses Show wirklich anhörst, weil es ist sehr, sehr interessant und es ist alles über natürliche Medizin, die du liebst. Also, Bussi und bis bald.
I just said goodbye, all right? Woo! This is Erica Salda. Keep giving. God bless Santa Barbara. See you next week.